Thank you, Honourable Speaker Seh. Honourable Speaker, Honourable Prime Minister, Honourable Minister for Economy, Honourable Leader of Opposition, Honourable Ministers, Honourable Members of Parliament. Honourable Speaker Seh, I wish to address some issues raised by Honourable Lenona Keringere Tambua. The Honourable Member, or whichever lawyer wrote her speech, seems to have something very personal against the Honourable Attorney General. Perhaps the former beauty queen doesn't quite understand how difficult drafting a national budget is. Even up until the last minute, the hard-working budget team is working non-stop to ensure everything is correct. I would rather wait 1 hour and get the best budget than try to rush such a thing. Let me remind the Honourable Member that NFP's manifesto was the most colossal failure of a document which consisted of wrong statistics, misinformation, grammatical errors, unrealistic promises, and was rejected by the Fijian people. The NFP manifesto and the team who drafted it perhaps used Honourable Keringere Tambua's method, thus ensuring NFP became the minority party with 3 seats. We at Fiji Fest do not try to fool the Fijian people, so perhaps NFP is not used to this. Honourable Speaker, I would like to ask Honourable Keringere Tambua where her manners were when she cursed our children earlier this year. She is absolutely right in that manners make it mad, and her act of cursing innocent children, including those who are yet to be born, tells us what she is made of. Honourable Keringere Tambua questioned whether AG was a true leader and a servant of the people. Let me try to make the misguided member understand reality. Honourable Speaker said while Honourable Keringere Tambua was posting pictures on her Facebook page, Honourable Attorney General was up until the early hours of the morning with his team drafting a very big and a very complicated budget for weeks and weeks. Honourable AG was sacrificing his personal time and sleep to go out on the ground and talk to Fijians while Honourable Lenona was posting pictures of birthday cakes on her page. Honourable Speaker said Honourable Lenona spent COVID-19 doing personal things with her family, and there is nothing wrong with that. But do not try to come here and suggest that Honourable AG is not a servant of the people when he has done more for the country in the last 2 months than Honourable Keringere Tambua has done in her entire life. Honourable Lenona needs to understand that every little effort counts. She named all the groups and people helping others, and instead of using this positively to spread good feelings, she instead used their work to attack Fiji Fest. Honourable Speaker said this is disgusting behaviour. To politicize providing aid and help and to suggest that some people are better than others when everyone is helping the best they can. Honourable Speaker, I rise as the Assistant Minister for Agriculture to voice my contribution to the 2020 and 2021 national budget designed to provide hope to every Fijian and the economy. I join the honourable members who have spoken before me in commending the Honourable Minister for Economy and his team for a bold and innovative 2020-21 national budget. Honourable Speaker, I fully support the intentions of the 2020-21 budget in dealing with the current certainties of the COVID-19 pandemic and its far-reaching economic impact to all Fijian families. This is unprecedented times, and as a nation we must act decisively by taking bold steps aimed at recovery of Fijian economy from this global health crisis. Honourable Speaker, to summarize the 2020-2021 budget in 4 words, it would be bold, visionary, hopeful, and caring. This budget empowers our commercial sector, the engine of growth, by providing economic stimulus packages to incentivize entrepreneurs and employers and protect our economy during these uncertain times. Honourable Speaker said through the 2020-2021 budget, the Ministry of Agriculture will continue to expand its planned activities. We will continue on our momentum in accelerating our transition from subsistence farming to commercial agriculture in the next financial year. Instead, the Ministry of Agriculture allocation will only motivate us to work smartly and diligently to leverage the agriculture sector. Honourable Speaker said the Ministry's strategic policy direction is clear, as set out in the Ministry's 5-year strategic development plan, 2019 to 2023, it is about accelerating the growth of this important sector through commercialization. We have already started this work and we will continue to do so. The SDP is aligned to the 20-year National Development Plan, NDP, and builds on the modernization set out in the Fiji Agriculture 2020 policy agenda. Honorable Speaker said the two Ministry of Agriculture policy documents were designed to fulfill the mandated policy objectives of the ministry in maintaining food and nutrition security, generating economic growth for sustainable livelihoods, alleviating poverty, and managing available resources for sustainability and climate-smart agriculture. Honorable Speaker said, as clearly outlined in the Honorable Minister for Economy's budget address, the impact of COVID-19 on our nation is profound, volatile, and as yet unpredictable. Food security and nutrition stand to be heavily impacted as the globe undergoes a recession not seen since the 1930s Great Depression. Honorable Speaker said, globally food systems are being impacted by lockdown movements, restrictions, reduced household income, and interrupted supply chains. While price and availability of the global food staples remain stable for now, the United Nations World Food Programme has warned that an estimated 265 million people could face acute food insecurity by the end of 2020, up from 135 million people before the crisis because of income and remittance losses. Honorable Speaker said UNOCHA has predicted that the number of acutely food insecure people in the world will increase by 82% by end of 2020 if no action is taken, leading to increased potential for global instability and conflict. The IMF have predicted a global minus 4.9 contribution in GDP for 2020. This financial year is shaping up to be a year like no other in our lifetimes. Honorable Speaker said, here in Fiji, while we might have mercifully escaped the worst of the health impacts for now, we are not immune from the effects of pandemic on our economy and livelihoods. So far, 115,000 people have lost their jobs. The Reserve Bank has projected that our economy is set to contract by 21.7% in 2020. I commend the Honourable Minister for Economy for his leadership in proposing a bold and forward-looking budget that will put us on a path to recovery and help us build back better. Honourable Speaker said the Ministry has undertaken several initiatives to cushion the effect of the pandemic on food security. It is doing all it can to ensure Fijian people continue to have access to safe, affordable, and nutritious food during these difficult times. To complement the bold and ambitious drive towards the commercialization of agriculture sector into a billion-dollar industry, we are ensuring that those households most affected by COVID-19 pandemic have the means and support to become more self-reliant. Honourable Speaker said, we are seeing an increase in people returning to their lands and villages to plant crops. The success of our home gardening initiative has led to a boom in urban and peri-urban home gardens, with excess produce contributing either to precise household income or bartered for other essentials. The introduction of organic fertilizer that supports sustainable food production and livelihood. Honourable Speaker said the Home Gardening Initiative received extraordinary response from the general public during the COVID-19 pandemic when coupled with planting and food preparation guidelines from Ministry of Health. The stay-at-home policy did provide the best opportunity for people to grow their own from the distributed seed packages by ministry officials. This was made possible through the COVID-19 response budget allocation of $1 million and the aid-in-kind seed assistance from the Pacific Community SPC and Food Agriculture Organization FAO. Honourable Speaker said, as of today, a total of 36,495 seed packages has been distributed, representing over 307,000 individual seed packets. The total budget utilization was $47,552. The initiative will resume in September 2020 as a next wave with replenished stock of seeds. The Ministry will continue to source its budget allocation from the Agriculture Extension Services Program, CROPS, with allocated budget of $600,000 in 2020-21 2021 financial year. Part of the funding will be sourced from Sustainable Land Management Program, SLM, particularly on the household modeling and dry seed purchasing. The 35,000 that will be allocated to the Home Gardening Initiative shall be sourced from the Agriculture Extension Service Program in 2020-2021 financial year's budget. Honorable Speaker, we also are mindful of the need to ensure our agriculture farming systems and methods are sustainable and are conducive to maintaining our natural forests, waterways, and aquatic food sources. We are increasing our focus on organic or the use of natural fertilizers as this ensures the sustainability of our natural resources. Organic fertilizers are kinder and gentler way to give plants the nutrients they need. Honorable Speaker, apart from supplying essential nutrients, studies show that application of organic manure improves the structure of soil and increases its ability to hold water and nutrients. It also increases the population of beneficial microorganisms that break down and release nutrients into the soil from the organic materials. While it complements the Home Garden Initiative, Ministry of Agriculture is currently embarking on the substantial production and the use of poultry manure that is going to be used by most farmers and individual households in Fiji. The Organic Fertilizer Initiative is aimed at reducing the impact of conventional farming practices on Fiji's soil, waterways, and environment. Furthermore, the initiative will encourage the establishment of organic fertilizer-based farming systems promoting healthy soil, healthy crops. Honorable Speaker, while progressing the above initiative, the Ministry is currently developing a conditioning or composting site at Nandurulolo Research Station in Nosori. Similar sites will be established in Vitilevu, Vanualevu, and Taviuni during the next financial year. The many sites will be used to condition poultry manure through the use of bacterium culture before application to farmers' fields and home gardens based on soil analysis and crop nutrient requirements. The bacterium culture was recently launched in Singatoka on the 10th June 2020. The role of anaerobic bacteria species is to speed up the decomposition process of the poultry manure. The fermented fertilizer will basically improve plant growth when applied as foliage spray to crop seedlings and soil. Honorable Speaker, the budget for Organic Fertilizer Initiative was sourced from Green Waste Management activity, that is $30,000 under the Sustainable Land Management Program, SLM, with total budget of $300,000. The Ministry will continue to source its funding from the same SLM program and GWM activity for 2020-2021 financial year. As global air freight charges have increased, good quality, fresh local produce can substitute what was previously imported. We can use this time and temporary downturn in tourist numbers to better strategize and work closely and smartly with other relevant ministries and tourism operators to prepare for the scale-up once the Bula bubble is up and running. Honorable Speaker, the Ministry will continue to improve and better refine our preparedness, response and recovery capacity in our effort to protect and help our farmers recover and become self-reliant for sustainable livelihoods. Similarly, Ministry of Agriculture will continue to promote climate-smart agriculture to ensure we are more determined and resilient in facing any natural disaster that is going to come on our way. Rebuilding agriculture as the main driver of economic activity in Fiji is realistic, but it will take a collective effort. I ask that members encourage their communities and families to start a farm, however small, or where people are already farming to aim higher and increase productive levels, expand into value addition, maybe, and or commercialize their operations. Ministry of Environment, Honorable Speaker, while the pandemic has impacted global environmental policy, we have not let our guards down at home. The Ministry of Environment has been very proactive in stepping up enforcement of environmental regulations and policies. The Ministry is focused to continue to enforce environmental laws during this crisis and hope that businesses will acknowledge and adhere to this vital legislation. During 2019-2020 financial year, the Ministry of Environment has continued to implement its required ongoing initiative and have also launched new initiatives to safeguard the environment. These include Ocean Stress Net Audit, launched on June 18, 2020 during World Ocean Day by Honorable Minister for Economy. It involves the physical analysis of the waste composition to provide a detailed understanding of waste disposal behavior of people living upstream. LITA think tank session meeting to address chronic situation in the country and monitoring of ban of plastic bag, ban on single-use plastic bags has significantly led to decline of plastic bag. Honorable Speaker said the pandemic has had a profound impact on the global climate diplomacy. It has limited the ability of nations to submit nationally determined contributions, as focus now has shifted on the pandemic. I fear that developed nations, in their desire to restart the global economy, would emit excessive greenhouse gas, jeopardizing our good work during COP23. Honorable Speaker said the National Environment Cleanup Campaign is an activity under the Clean Environment Policy to provide self-compliance towards anti-litter behavior in Fiji. 15 cleanup campaigns were undertaken during the 2019-2020 financial year. The ministry carried out 3 LPO training and trained 53 LPOs in this financial year. LPOs trained included staff from Fiji Ports and Fiji Surf. Honorable Speaker said the ministry held 9 EIA roundtables and clinics with businesses all over Fiji. These roundtables and EIA clinics have played a significant role in helping businesses understand the key legislative expectations from government when it comes to permitting, and provides an excellent platform to address the delayed permits. With a remarkable track record, 9 out of 10 cases have been resolved on the spot during consultation. The DPP organized a 2-day workshop to train 25 environmental officers. The purpose of the training was to train officers on enforcement and prosecution. The department has also trained and had 4 fully trained prosecutors. The department is executing agency for the Fiji Reach to Reef project. Till date, in cooperation with the partners, the R2R project has planted approximately 14.52 hectares of native fruit and timber seedlings, all in the Wainindina catchment, and 10.75 hectares of mangroves, all in the Rewa catchment. Honorable Speaker said, seagrass planting at the Nasese Fosso was officiated by the Honorable Minister for Environment. Seagrass, apart from protecting our ecosystem, helps in carbon sequestration. It sequesters carbon 10 times more than forest. The Ministry of Environment is in the process of establishing seagrass nurseries in strategic location in Fiji as a part of its Blue Carbon Initiative. The Ministry of Environment is the vocal point of the Global Environment Facility and chairs the Small Grants Program, which is managed by UNDP. The Small Grants Program provides grants for up to $50,000 to local communities and non-government organizations to undertake projects aimed at protecting our environment. 8 projects were approved in the fiscal year 2019-2020. Honorable Speaker said the Ministry of Environment is in the process of reporting its implementation of the Convention on Biological Diversity as part of the 6th National Reporting. Fiji will focus its reporting against the global ACI biodiversity targets and national biodiversity targets in the National Biodiversity Strategy and Action Plan. The Fiji National Biodiversity Strategy Action Plan is a policy document formulated in response to Fiji's obligation under the Convention on Biological Diversity to ensure that Fiji meets the objectives of CBD as a party and guides the implementation of Convention at the national level. The Ministry will continue to work with partners to implement the National Biodiversity Strategy and Action Plan. Honorable Speaker said, the policy on conservation and management of Fiji's coral reefs aims to guide and enhance the Ministry of Environment's leadership and mandatory roles in effectively executing programs that support coral reefs conservation in Fiji and commitments made at regional and global levels. Honorable Speaker said the International Biodiversity Day was celebrated on May 22nd, and along with a week to raise awareness on biodiversity, the important role it plays globally. The theme for this year was Our Solutions Are in Nature. The theme provided an opportunity through stakeholder engagement and media coverage to raise awareness on some of the nature-based solutions. In addition, policies on conservation and management of coral reefs and associated ecosystem and the conservation and protection of the Fiji iguana species were lodged by Honourable Minister. Thank you, Honourable Speaker, sir.